fellow makeup lovers, how are you guys doing today? So I'm super excited for this video because I'm going to be doing a first impression and wear test on the new Juvia's Place shade sticks. So if you're not already aware, they are releasing a foundation stick and I was super excited about it just because I love foundation sticks and I find that they really work for my skin and what I look for in a foundation. Some of my most holy grail favorite foundations are foundation sticks. So they sent me over a PR package of all the different shades of the foundation stick. So I'm going to go ahead and quickly read off some information for y'all. I believe that they are launching October 5th for $16 each on the Juvia's Place website, and they'll also be available at Ulta, but I'm not sure when they're launching on Ulta or when they'll be in store. But it says that it's formulated to feel like skin, providing a seamless finish, and there's 30 multi-purpose shades. It's a foundation, but you can use it to conceal, correct, highlight, and contour. It's a medium to full buildable coverage, paraben-free, cruelty-free, and 9.7 grams / 0.34 ounces, which might seem like a very, very small amount, but normally foundation sticks are a third or a half of an ounce. That's pretty normal, and they still take a while to get through. It's just the way that they are. I'm not a scientist, but I promise they're not robbing you or anything. I've had stick foundations that I've used for a really long time that were a similar amount of product. So they also have all the shades kind of organized, and they have very light, medium, tan, rich tan, dark, and deepest dark. I love the campaign photos, and I really like the graphic that's on the makeup bag. It's all coral and blue, and it's really cute, so I'm sure that will be available to purchase on the Juvia's Place website at least. So what I did to be responsible, because I'm not a makeup artist and I don't want to have all this waste and just have foundations that aren't the right shade for me sitting around, is I picked out the 3 lightest shades, and what I figured I'll do is I'll take the medium shade and use that as my all over foundation, the medium as in like the second lightest. I'll take the absolute lightest and use that as my concealer today just to see how it responds and acts as a concealer, and then I'll take the third darkest shade and do just a little bit of contouring or bronzing, whatever it may be. It'll be very subtle, but I figured that way I could kind of show you the 3 lightest shades. So in case you're curious, for the rest of these, I'm going to contact some friends, mostly those who do YouTube, and see if they would like to try this foundation, and I'll send them out because I don't want to be wasteful, and I figure that'll be a more helpful way, and I can point y'all in their direction if they do reviews, rather than me like swatching shades that are way too dark for me one time just for the sake of being helpful, but I don't think that's even really helpful. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to attempt to be organized about it, but for now I'm going to go ahead and pull out the 3 lightest shades that I have here and pull them in order. The first one, the lightest shade, is Tokyo, and I thought I'd just go ahead and swatch this on my face just to show you. So that looks like a pretty perfect match for me, honestly. Might even be my perfect match, so that's the absolute lightest shade. I also did go ahead and prime my skin already with the Glossier Priming Moisturizer Rich, in case you're curious. It's my favorite primer. And then the second lightest shade is called Aberdeen. Also, this is what the packaging looks like. I mean, it's just kind of like a plastic coral bottle, but it's cute. It stands out. So here is Aberdeen, which actually only looks just a little bit darker. They both look pretty neutral, not really leaning too pink or too yellow. I noticed when I was looking through the medium shades that a lot of the colors looked more on the warm side. I was having trouble finding something that I would want to use as a contour that's like, I wouldn't want it to be neutral or cool toned, but I couldn't decide on anything, so I just gave up. So there's Aberdeen, which again actually looks like a pretty good shade. And then the third lightest shade is called Nicaragua, and here's what that looks like. So that one's definitely a little bit darker than me, and that's the one I'm going to try and contour with. That one has a little bit more of a yellow undertone. It's a bit more warm. So those are the 3 lightest shades. Actually, I know it's on my face, but I figured I would go ahead and show you guys like a comparison to other foundation sticks that I have. I have Very Fair Cool from Ulta Beauty. Actually, that looks very, very similar. The Very Fair Cool is definitely more pink toned, but the actual like shade is pretty similar. And then I have Makeup Revolution Fast Base Stick Foundation in F1, which that's as far as it'll go up because I've used a lot of it. So there's that one. I feel like that looks probably, it's a little bit warmer than Aberdeen, the second lightest shade, but a similar tone. So actually I think yeah, I think either of these two would work for me. I know I have the ColourPop foundation stick somewhere, but I'm not sure where it is right now. It might be in my makeup bag upstairs. But I have the Makeup Forever HD foundation stick, which is not cruelty-free, but I have the shade Y205. I've had this forever, still trying to finish using it, and it's extremely pale. So you can see that one is way lighter than the ones from Juvia's place. It's just a super, super white color. There's some quick little comparisons. I'm going to go ahead and wash off my face real quick and then maybe reprime that area, and then I'll go ahead and try out the foundation sticks. Alright, so like I said, I'm going to go ahead and start off with Aberdeen, the second lightest shade. And I'm just going to do, I guess I'll start off with that. I don't want to go in with too much. And I'm going to start off with my brush. So I'm just blending that in with the Artiste brush. I figure I'll do a brush on half and then the sponge on the other half. And it's definitely blending out right now. I only did like the 3 little stripes to, I would say, like a really soft coverage, like very, I would say, light coverage. I'm going to do a little bit more. Which is looking definitely more like medium coverage. Okay, so Aberdeen looks pretty perfect for me. It's a really good shade. My camera keeps not wanting to focus, of course, right as I start applying the product, but I think that right now it actually looks really good. It kind of has a very soft, natural finish. I don't know if you can tell. There's definitely a little bit of a glow going on. It's not matte, but it's not like super dewy either. It's just that really nice in between. And I'm not going to keep building this up just because I'm going to go in with the other shades for concealer and contour, but I would say as a medium coverage, the like quick little 2 layers that I did looks really, really nice. So now I'm going to go ahead and just do about the same on this side. And I'm going to try and blend it in with my sponge. Normally, I prefer stick foundation with a brush just because it tends to blend better, and sometimes you have to pull with your sponge in order for a stick foundation to blend out. But that actually, I mean, I definitely think it's a little bit less coverage, but it blended actually pretty well for a sponge and a stick foundation. So I'm going to go ahead and just do another layer equal to the other side. And then just blending it in. I think the finish looks pretty much the same on both sides. It still looks like the same natural finish. The sponge isn't really making it more dewy. I'm gonna take whatever's left over on my nose. Alright, so far I really am liking how it looks. I'm gonna zoom y'all in. So here's the brush side. And here's the sponge side. Unfortunately, when I zoom in, my camera cannot focus to save its life, but I pulled you out a little bit more just to show you what it looks like. I'm going to go ahead and grab the lightest shade, Tokyo, and I'm going to put that underneath my eyes. Don't normally do this with stick foundation, but since they advertised it that way, I'm going to try it as concealer. I'll also just take a little bit down the bridge of my nose and then on the high points of my face. And then I'm just going to blend that in with my sponge. Okay, so it's definitely not Tarte Shape Tape, but it did add a nice light coverage. I think it looks good underneath the eyes. I can still see my bags a little bit, and I can still see a little bit of purple, but it does not look cakey or dry. It looks pretty hydrated underneath my eyes, actually. So overall, I think that looks pretty good. I will set it in a moment after I finish doing the third shade as contour. So I'm going to go ahead and use the shade Nicaragua, and I'm just going to use... I don't know if this is going to work. I don't know if it's dark enough, or I don't know. I need a brush, though. I need a brush for this stage. Just going to go ahead and take a little stippling brush and blend that into the skin. Which, honestly, I feel like I can see just the tiniest little amount of difference. It's not a super dark shade. I'm not expecting much from it. I just figured I would try this one in this way today for the sake of the video. But I mean, honestly, if you could find a color in this that you wanted to use for contour. It does blend super easy. Like, I really am impressed with the creaminess. I feel like that's super nice. I also did want to go ahead and do a quick little swatch on my hand just because I forgot to do it on my face. I'm going to do Nicaragua. So there's Nicaragua on my hand right there, and I just figured I would show you a comparison to the Bare Minerals foundation stick, which I have the shade Opal 01. This is a little bit pink toned. For my liking, I'd prefer it to be more neutral, but there is what Opal 1 looks like next to Nicaragua, just in case you were curious. Alright, so to quickly finish on my face, I'll just show you the steps that I'm going to take since I'm doing a wear test. I'm going to use the Beauty Bakery Flower Better Not Bitter setting powder, just a really light amount underneath my eyes. I'm not going to set the rest of my face with a setting powder just because I prefer to see how that lasts on its own. Just lightly setting where I put the lighter stick. I'm going to go ahead and grab my Queen palette, the collaboration between Juvia's Place and Fumi, and I'm going to take the shade Sister Sister as my blush. Just adding a little tiny bit of peach. And then I'm going to take FDV Approved. And then I'm just going to go ahead and finish off with my Jouer lip gloss in the shade Diamond Walk. So the time right now is 2:49. I'm assuming I'm going to be able to go about 6 hours and do a wear test, and then I'll come back and show you guys what I think of the foundation and how it's wearing throughout the day. I'm going to zoom you in again. Obviously I have a super natural face going on today, but there is what the skin looks like. Honestly, so far I'm really liking the way that the foundation looks on my skin. It's very glowy and natural and soft and everything that I look for. Like I said in the beginning, there's just something about my skin plus stick foundations. They just are a match made in heaven. I don't know what it is, but it always seems to work. I love pretty much every stick foundation that I have. So I did want to go ahead and mention really quickly that I stopped and took the time to smell the stick foundation. And I smell nothing, so if you are someone who's sensitive to fragrance, I don't smell anything. So I'm going to go ahead and go about my day, live my life, and then I'll be right back. Alright guys, so I'm back. Obviously, I feel like I look way different than earlier. I'm a little bit of a mess. I changed into a t-shirt. My hair's doing this thing, but that's okay. It is now 8:51, so it's been 6 hours and 2 minutes exactly. And Roman just went to bed, so it is my me time. It's my novella binge watching time. Although I'm going to finish editing this video really quickly, so it'll be up tomorrow morning for y'all. But I love the foundation. Honestly, like, I have obviously been wearing it for 6 hours. And of course, I could definitely do this wear test for longer. And I will definitely keep wearing it. I'm probably going to wear it tomorrow. But I feel like my skin just looks so glowy and healthy. Why did my eyes just start tearing up? My skin is just so beautiful. Just kidding. But even like my forehead looks so naturally, like it's just like a very soft glow, and I did not put any like highlighter there. I know I had some highlighter on my cheeks, but I feel like overall there's just a glow to my skin, so I really like it. It has not worn off. I mean, I would say it stayed a nice medium light coverage throughout the day. I guess it is a little bit in my smile lines, but it's not bad at all. It's very like subtle. It's not very noticeable. Sometimes I wear foundations and they just like suck into my smile lines. So far, I'm really happy with it, and I feel like I'm going to continue to be really happy with it unless my skin starts like randomly breaking out. It does not look dry anywhere. Like my nose does not look dry at all, and it wasn't a hot day. I wasn't like sweating or anything. I think I would recommend this foundation for someone who likes a lighter to a medium coverage, although I'm gonna keep testing it out because they said you can build it to full coverage, but I don't normally build foundations. I'm happy with a medium finish, so maybe if you like to build it up, you'd be keen to try this. I also feel like it'll be really good for someone with dry to normal skin, because it left me with a slightly dewy finish, like dewier than it was when I first applied it. I think that if you have very oily skin, you might not enjoy this. But then again, you could also try different mattifying powders, use a mattifying primer, and make it work for you. I feel like foundation is so personal. I was trying to think if I have anything else to say, but overall it's been a really good first impression. I'm trying to think if there's anything I don't like, and honestly it feels like my perfect foundation, getting dewier throughout the day, natural finish, medium coverage. It looks light on the skin. It does not look cakey at all anywhere, like everywhere. It looks hydrating, and you know, I did use it for concealer. I have slight lines underneath my eyes, where like this, like you see where this little bag is here. I have a little bit of a line on both sides, but overall my under eyes look pretty hydrated. They don't look dry or cakey, so I'm happy. I'm gonna zoom you guys in so you can see pretty well too. All right, so here is the foundation after 6 hours. Which honestly, the fact that I like it this much on a bad skin day, because I've been breaking out a lot and I've had a lot of texture going on and everything, makes me even more excited to try this foundation when I have a good skin day. So that's basically everything for this video. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to leave them down below and I'll try to get back to you in a timely manner. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I'd love to know if you are interested in trying this foundation or if you think it won't work for you. Whatever your thoughts may be, I'd love to have a conversation. So I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!